Hey everyone, good morning or afternoon wherever you're located. Welcome to today's webinar. So I'm going to go ahead and get started now as we're at the top of the hour. I'll start with some brief introductions before I get into the content. So first and foremost, my name is Greg Collins and I'm the Product Marketing Manager for Progress WhatsUp Gold. I'm also joined by my colleague Jason Alberino, who is a Principal Product Manager. Jason has over 20 years of experience with WhatsUp Gold, so he's extremely knowledgeable on the product and is more than happy to answer any questions you may have today at the end of this session. So today we're going to talk about what's new with WhatsUp Gold 2025.0. If you've ever joined us on a release webinar in the past, you'll know that we go through the features and functionality of the release, as well as some quick demos in product. These will always be tied to a theme. So for this particular release, the theme is Actionable Insights for Proactive Monitoring. Of the agenda today, WhatsUp Gold version 2025.0 was made generally available a few weeks ago on June 24th, 2025. The feedback we've received so far has been very positive and aligns well with our team around proactive monitoring. Jason will go into greater detail about how this release does so with the new features and functionalities. But in the meantime, I'll touch briefly on some of the top features, such as the brand new certificate discovery and monitoring functionality, the log management custom ingestion filters, device templates improvements, as well as many ease of use and security enhancements. And finally, we will talk a little bit about how you actually upgrade to the latest version of WhatsUp Gold. Okay, so let's get going. Like I said, we're going to talk about what's new in WhatsUp Gold 2025.0, including the brand new certificate discovery and monitoring functionality. This allows you to identify, track, and manage SSL certificates across the network. It helps to prevent expired certificates, maintain secure communications, avoid service disruptions, and support compliance. As I mentioned, the theme of this release is around proactive monitoring, so functionality like this reduces downtime and enhances overall network reliability and security posture. This means that as an administrator, you will be notified of upcoming expiring certificates 30 days before they actually expire. Next up is log management custom ingestion filters. These filters allow precise control over which data is actually collected. By filtering out irrelevant logs, you can reduce storage costs, improve system performance, and streamline analysis. This maintains focus on actionable insights, enhancing efficiency in troubleshooting and security monitoring. There have also been improvements made to the device templates. It's now easier to monitor devices automatically. In a growing virtual or wireless environment where monitoring all devices is essential, scheduled discoveries can be configured to automatically monitor the devices once they have been discovered. And finally, as with all recent releases, WhatsUp Gold 2025.0 includes many additional requested enhancements and security improvements. So before I hand it over to Jason, I want to quickly run through the upgrading process. All of the information presented here can be found in the knowledge base article called How Do I Download and Upgrade to the Latest WhatsUp Gold version, which is found on the community. Firstly, you need to log into the customer portal on the community and click the product download section. Once you've done that, you'll see all the available products that Progress has. Of course, here we're going to choose WhatsUp Gold and then go to the download center. Once in the download center, you need to click on My Active. Just a note here, if there is nothing under My Active, then try My Companies, but make sure the service date is not expired. Okay, so next you just need to click on the license or serial number that you're upgrading. On the product details page, then you can click on the download link on the right hand side. As shown in the bottom screenshot, you'll then see the download button for the installer itself. Just a reminder that only the most current release will be listed. Retired and deprecated versions will not be listed here. After the file is downloaded, you then run the installer. The wizard will appear to guide you through the upgrade process, and it's really as easy as that. So I'm now going to pass you across to Jason Alberino, who'll go into more detail and show some demos of the new functionality. So over to you, Jason.
Hello everyone, it's Jason Alberino, Principal Product Manager here at Progress, and today we're going to talk about the WhatsUp Gold 25.0 release. So I'm starting on docs.progress.com just to show you how to get at the latest documentation. Down here you click the WhatsUp Gold link, and here you'll see all the documentation for our active and retired releases, as well as WhatsUp Gold 360 and NTA Plus documentation. Some additional resources here that you might want to be aware of is the Product Lifecycle Guide and our REST API Guide, also available as resources. And we also have an education community with a lot of free WhatsUp Gold courses you might want to check out too. So without any other distractions, let's go into the 25.0 release notes here. And you'll see that this lays out exactly what's been changed within the release, as well as some other guides to help you get started. And really two big features were added within this release. One is certificate discovery and monitoring, and the other is log management and ingestion filters. I'll get more into detail on each one of those in a bit. And I'll also mention that we fixed many different defects in the list here, and we're really committed to quality and improving the quality of the product, as you can see. So as opposed to just talking through the release notes on these two features, I figured I would talk through them in the interface. So I'm going to switch over to my WhatsUp Gold here, and you'll see I have a dashboard that I created based on some of these SSL certificate monitors that have been created. And these monitors are essentially telling me that certificates either expired or set to expire soon. And really you want to prevent your certificates from expiring, especially those that might be externally facing. So if you have a certificate on your public website, you don't want that certificate expiring, because then customers are going to potentially see error messages, warnings. They'll lose trust in your company, right? Like it will seem very bad. And not just this, but real world outages have been reported all throughout the years, even from the biggest tech companies, Google, Facebook, Microsoft. All of them have had certificate-based outages over the past several years. And it's a very preventable issue as long as you're monitoring it, right? And that's what the goal of this new feature is, to make it easier for you to find where these certificates even exist within your environment and then make sure they're monitored. So the way it really works is using our device templates that allows you to control how our discovery process actually assigns monitors to devices. We created a new device template called SSL Certificate Monitor. And essentially what this is doing is seeing if port 443 is open on the IP address we're scanning during discovery. And if it is, we're going to add a monitor to try and look at the certificate there. It's looking at if the certificate expires within the next 30 days. So as long as it's greater than 30 days from expiration, the monitor would be up. Less than 30 days from expiration and actually expired, the monitor would be down. All you need to do in order to get it added to your devices is run through a discovery as you normally would within WhatsUp Gold. So discover new scan, and then you can specify either single IP, range of IPs, entire subnets. You can also do your existing monitored devices, cloud-based systems. Set your settings, set your credentials as required if you'd like to do other types of monitoring outside of the certificates, and then simply run your scan. Once your scan completes on the discovered network, you might want to go start or update the monitoring based on what was discovered, and then confirm that you want to start doing that. Once done, you'll begin monitoring them automatically. The devices will show up in my network, and the monitor will be added to the devices. So you see I have quite a few down in my lab environment here. And the dashboard kind of highlights how long they've been expired, as well as, well, is it truly important? Maybe the answer is no, right? Some of these you might not care about. Others you might care deeply about. In that case, well, if you don't care about a specific one, all you need to do is disable it. This one I know I don't care about. I can select this and disable it, and now I don't have to worry about it going forward. That covers the SSL certificate monitor. And I'll start talking about the log management and ingestion filters. So WhatsUp Gold allows you to collect Windows events and syslog messages using our log management solution based on the Elastic Stack. So as a part of log management, you have to go deploy Elasticsearch and then connect to it. So once you do that, you are able to go collect Windows events as well as syslog messages, either with a central collector or with an agent. What's new with these ingestion filters is before we just had really report filters. So if I go to the log filter library, you'll see, well, before we were only able to create custom report filters, and the ingestion filter actually telling it which things to collect during the actual event collection. Well, it was gated, it was locked. That kind of forced you into collecting maybe more than you wanted to. Now you have the flexibility of creating these as ingestion filters too. So just a new option when creating these filters. but now you can filter down to specifically which events you either want or don't want. So maybe there's a certain event that you don't want to pull in. You would just simply add it here, save it, and then when applying your ingestion filters when setting up your log management source, you would just tell it to use those. So I'll go to my log management data source setup here, and I'm going to add a new one. We'll say just any old system, shouldn't matter. And then you see I'm specifying to use the central collector or agent since this is a Windows event log. And then the ingestion filter. So here I can just say, well, let's apply one of my ingestion filters, right? But now the difference is you can actually create your own. So you would apply them here once you created your own, and then they'd be collected that way going forward. All right, so that's the two new features within WhatsUp Gold 25.0. Before I turn it over to questions, I guess we should talk about the WhatsUp Gold YouTube channel, where we have in-depth videos about these features already posted here. So there's an overview of WhatsUp Gold 25.0, as well as a more in-depth look into the certificate discovery and monitoring. All right. All right, and we'll dive right into questions here. And we got quite a few here. I'll just start at the top and feel free to keep them flowing in as we go along. Remember, any WhatsUp Gold related questions, fair game. It doesn't have to be 25.0 related. First question is, I've upgraded to version 25.0. Where do I find the certificate discovery and monitoring? So it's actually a role that's built in. So a sub role is created within your environment automatically. In order to take advantage of this new sub role, all you need to do is run a discovery on your environment. So you can either rediscover those existing devices and automatically update them, or just manually run a scan and then pick and choose which ones to update. But so long as you run that scan, it's automatically going to try and detect and see if those certificates are there. And then once you hit start monitoring, it would automatically add that monitor for you if a certificate was present. So it's really kind of transparently happening for you in the background with the discovery process is the answer there. Are we showing certificates on a web server, server to client? Well, okay, so this is the way it works is by scanning the port. So we're, in our case, scanning port 443. And if a certificate is present there, then a monitor would then be created for it. You can, in theory, do this with other ports, as well as you can customize the SSL certificate monitor and WhatsUp Gold for other use cases as well. All right, do I need to rescan an already known device to pick it up? So that's kind of a catch there. So the monitor is not going to exist in your library until you run that full discovery. So that first full discovery run where we pick up any system that has a certificate, that's where the monitor then would be created once you start monitoring that device. Once the monitor is created and within your library, you should be able to rescan and have it applied to other devices, but it's going to depend on the settings of that specific monitor. There is a checkbox whether to use in rescan or not. You'll just want to make sure to have that checked if you want it to be used in rescan. All right. WhatsUp Gold, but no log management. How do I try it out? Oh, very good question. So you got a few options there. If you have an existing environment and you want to try it out within your existing environment, you will need to reach out to your Progress sales representative. You could do that just whatsupgold.com/contact and reach out that way. Or if you have the ability to set up like a new evaluation version, you could just fill out the free trial form. You get 30 days of our Enterprise Plus license, which grants you access to all of the WhatsUp Gold functionalities, including log management. Okay, we got some more in here. Ooh, this one's a tough one. Are there any plans to support Nutanix for virtual monitoring? So we can't talk too much about future plans in public webinars, but I would encourage you to join our customer validation program. I am able to share that since this has been out there on the customer validation program, it is something we're investigating. Can you elaborate on the scheduled discovery templates for auto monitoring newly integrated devices? Yes. So within WhatsUp Gold, any discovery you create can be saved. It can also be scheduled. So in my example earlier, I just was running through the scan settings quickly, but you can save those scan settings. You just got to give it a name, and then within those scan settings, there are also options around the auto monitoring. So the scan settings themselves, you have to either opt in or out of those auto monitoring features. And then on the other level, on the device template level, you tell WhatsUp Gold which ones to consider for auto monitoring. So it's kind of, you have to configure both ends for it to work for you, but that way you can run a scan without auto monitoring and then run a scan with auto monitoring as well. I think that answers your question, but if not, feel free to enter in a clarifying question. Can you use rescan device feature of already discovered device, or do you have to? Oh, I think I answered the same question earlier, like about the new certificate monitor. You first have to run that full discovery. So it's not going to exist in your library until you run the full discovery. Once it does exist, you should be able to just use the rescan option. Currently running 23.13 and recently renewed licensing and support. Can we upgrade from this version directly to 25 using the newly applied activation key? Yes, that is a direct upgrade. So as long as you're on 22.0 or above, you should be able to upgrade directly to 25. If you're on a release before then, there is an upgrade path, but it's multiple steps. You would need to, we have those steps published on our knowledge base as well. All right. Someone says, I'm unable to run more than 2 commands in any task script via config management. Is this something Progress is aware of? You would have to give me more elaborate details. Please feel free to email me directly at alberino@progress.com. In our demo environment, we obviously have quite a few different things set up, definitely greater than 2. So there could be something interesting going on within your environment or with that device. I want to collect logs from my network policy server, specifically events 6272 and 6273. Oh, so I was reading that question and it looks like it got deleted. Oh, here it is. I do not want any other events beside this. Can I use this with the new log? Yes, that's precisely what the new log management ingestion filters are for. Like, you don't care about any other events and don't want them. You can tell, okay, only collect these ones. So it's not just coming back to alerts, it's on initial collection itself. So if it's anything other than those 2 events, you could tell it to ignore that and not collect it. But yeah, that's precisely what the new feature is for. Let's see. Sorry, I'm scrolling through questions here trying to see if there's any unanswered still. Bear with me a moment. Okay, we got more. Not related. This one's not related to 25.0. We have active monitors enabled for all interfaces on our network switch stacks to track interface status changes when one goes down, so we could determine if interfaces aren't being used. Is it possible to get rid of the red alert for those devices that we have no monitor enabled for, but necessarily want the red alert? So that one's kind of a tricky scenario. Essentially, you would need to, if you don't want the red to show up, you would need to disable the monitor, but then you wouldn't know whether it was used or not. What I would potentially propose there is a custom solution. If you reach out to me at alberino@progress.com, and gladly discuss it further with you. I have a question here. When will the admin console be completely eradicated? So for those unfamiliar, older versions of WhatsUp Gold, we heavily used like a 32-bit admin console. It was a Windows exe on the server itself. It's still there today, but it's not really used for anything. There are some things still left to migrate out of there. We have begun plans to create a new utility that would essentially replace that and bring some of those useful utilities to a one-stop shop outside of the admin console. So we're starting to investigate. Slide. Someone mentions the old console is way faster and easier than the web console. So it really, used to be on your side on this. I'm no longer on that side of things. I can definitely say that older versions of WhatsUp Gold, I could agree with that, but newer releases, I actually can't agree with that. Like any task you could do in that old admin console, you can do faster in the web interface today. And I've done a lot of performance testing just to make sure of this, but again, please email me, alberino@progress.com, if you are seeing something different or I'm missing something there. Someone said, you mentioned Elasticsearch. Is this an outside requirement or is it included with WhatsUp Gold? Very good question. So Elasticsearch is essentially just a database backend similar to what Microsoft SQL Server is. It's just purpose built for a different reason. That said, you can go obtain Elasticsearch and deploy it on your own. They make the source code available as well, but within our documentation, just within the release notes, if you look at the log management requirements within the release notes, we actually give you links to where you could go download it. It could be installed on Windows or Linux. I've played around and put a script on my personal blog to automatically install it on Red Hat Enterprise Linux-based systems and automatically configure settings and things like that. You might want to check that out too. I'll just plug my personal blog as wug.ninja. Okay, wow, there's a ton more. I'm trying to keep up with these. Okay. Can WUG use FTB from network devices and LLDP or CDP instead of just the fact they have so there are a lot of different ways to adjust the settings. So this question is really around the protocol support and how it ties back to how WhatsUp Gold generates topology maps. And there's definitely lots of different levers you can pull to enable or disable or prioritize different aspects of that. What I can say is it's not very well publicly documented, but if you are having some specific struggle, please reach out, let us know, and we're very willing to help and able to troubleshoot and get those map issues resolved for you. Okay, let me see if I've missed any others. I think we might have, oh, here we go, I found another one. I'm no longer able to send an SMS text message to cellular carrier due to discontinuation. What is WUG suggesting to their clients to get around this issue? So this is part of the initial use case of WhatsUp Gold 360. So WhatsUp Gold 360 is really our cloud extension of WhatsUp Gold. It comes with an Enterprise or Enterprise Plus subscription. But what that grants you is kind of a cloud-based look back to your environment. So if your on-premise environment became unavailable for some reason, you could still generate either an email or SMS. The way it works is that there's a small virtual appliance you would deploy on a hypervisor within your network, and that checks back to our cloud-based application every so often. And if it doesn't check in, then we know to go generate that alert. But that's very advantageous in like disaster recovery scenarios. Like let's say your monitoring system is completely gone or it lost its NIC, server died and you have nothing configured. Well, this is something that can warn you of those types of issues. Now, we do have plans to continue extending that, but again, I'll encourage people to join us on our customer validation program, whatsupgold.com/CVP. Go there, request membership, and you'll get a bit more insight into what we're planning into the future. And there's definitely things along these lines you would be interested in. All right, let's see, I think I covered most of them. Oh, here we go, one more. Oh, more coming in. Everyone, keep them coming. Let's see. I have WUG 24 version running on server 2016 with SQL 2016. All no longer support it. Have received recommendation to build a new server with the new version of WUG. Can I build the new server and WUG instance and have it be concurrent for a short period to ensure operations, or does it require more licensing? Technically speaking, it does require more licensing, but you can go obtain an evaluation license, which is good for 30 days for that purpose as well. So I wouldn't have it hold you back from having them running in parallel, but In that scenario, it really shouldn't be necessary. What I would suggest is get your new server set up and running, get your new SQL server set up and running, just back up and restore that database to the new SQL server, and then run your installer of WhatsUp Gold on the new system, point to that restored location, and you'll essentially be switching over to that new system. What's an important thing to note there is the IP address could be important. So depending on your firewall rules, access control list, things like that, you might want to make sure your new system has the same IP address as the old. We have a lot of steps published on our knowledge base and within documentation around database migration. If you go search on our community, you'll find a lot of good resources there. I have Web 360. How can I enable the beta features as I'm already a CVP member? If you go to CVP, there is a pinned post about WhatsUp Gold centralized visibility beta. Go into that post and it gives you the details. Basically, you send me an email. You send me an email and say, hey, I want to opt in, then you get opted in. Is there an option to view or match the WhatsUp Gold console on smartphone/devices? This is actually part of why we're building WhatsUp Gold 360. So I mentioned earlier, it kind of extends your on-prem environment to the cloud. What's nice about that is, well, you would access portal.whatsupgold.com to view your information about those devices instead of going over LAN, WAN, direct IP address, things like that. There could be limitations, right? But when it's on just a web page that's available everywhere, you just need a web browser. So we don't care what device it is, you should be able to get there. But that's kind of the direction we're going to solve for phone access to your network monitoring data, let's say. Someone asks, is WUG 360 FedRAMP certified? I don't feel comfortable answering that question on the call. If you can reach out directly to Alberino at progress.com, we can discuss further. Oh, someone's asking for email. Looks like respond it. Okay, I think I've finally gotten through all your guys' questions. Thank you so much for having so many of them. I think these are all helpful for many more than just us, so really appreciate it. And I guess we wrap up now. And again, I encourage everyone, feedback about WhatsUp Gold in general, positive, negative, please email me directly. I love to hear your feedback. I like to interact with you guys, so don't hesitate. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Take care.